What's up, guys? It's Brian here, and today I'm bringing you guys another Throwback Thursday review. This week we've got the Clone Troopers vs. Droideka Battle Pack. The set was number 75000. There's the box art. In the form of the instruction manual, that classic 2013 box art contained 124 pieces, retailed back in 2013 for $13. This was the last year that battle packs were $13. This was a very interesting battle pack because it wasn't a great army builder, but it did have some good figures and some great pieces. So without further ado, let's take an in-depth look. So here's an up-close look at the Clones vs. Droidekas battle pack. Again, a very interesting battle pack because it wasn't a great army builder, but it did have some very good pieces. 124 pieces in a battle pack was actually quite a bit for its time. So we'll take a look at the figures in just a second. But looking at the builds, the Droideka build was kind of lackluster. I never really liked it very much. It had some great parts, some great potential, but it just never really got the job done for me. The little guns as the arms are very unsatisfying. It's just not a very good look. I'm sorry, Mr. Droideka, but it's not a very good look. And the command center, I actually like quite a bit. However, it is very underscaled for the movie. Has some very nice red detailing, a nice computer in there. You have some flaps that fold down like this. It does actually have a little flick fire missile in there as well. So that comes out right there. You see what I'm talking about. So it did have some good potential. This little antenna kind of bent as well. It had some good potential, and it has some gun stand back there as well. But it's just, you don't really need a billion of these little command centers. So I had a couple ideas with these two builds of this set back in 2013 when it was released. First of all, I took the pieces from these two Droidekas, I had to add a few little pieces to it, and I made a bigger Droideka out of those two parts. I did a separate video on this back in 2014, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a card in the top corner of the screen up here. And check out that video of how to make this Droideka, because I think it came out a lot better. The scale is a little bit big, but I didn't really care. I think it looks a lot nicer, and it was made out of mostly parts from those two Droidekas. And as far as the command center goes, I took 4 of these battle packs and made one big giant command center. I did this one, a video on my channel 5 years ago as well. I'll link a card to that up in the top screen, up in the top right corner of the screen as well. So I took 4 of them, used mostly just the parts, had to add a couple plates, like I added this one big giant plate. I don't even think I need to add any plates on the bottom. I just used all parts from the battle packs to make this comm center, and it came out really cool. It fits a lot of minifigures, and it's a much better use. Like, I'd get much better use out of it than a billion of these. So that was the build of the set, and more so like the potential of the build, because it had some great pieces, but you had to buy a bunch of them in order to do anything really cool with them. So without further ado, let's take an in-depth look at the minifigures now. And the first minifigure we have up here is the regular plain old Phase 1 Clone Trooper. This was the 2013 version, the year that they invented this version of the Clone Trooper with this specific printing on the helmet. This is the same helmet mold as the Clone Wars version, some updated torso print, and this was the very first set ever to have Angry Clone. Was very, very happy when this head came out for the first time. I was obsessed with it. I thought it was just the coolest thing ever, because I never really liked that Clone Wars head, even though I used them in all my animations, but still. I was very happy to finally get some cool Phase 1 clones that were movie accurate. This was the year before the stud shooters, so the very last of the battle packs to have regular old blasters. But then these guys have been around since then. They've been in a bunch of sets, and then in the battle pack from a couple years ago, they actually had leg printing too. So this figure has been updated. But this was the first set that had this new style of Phase 1 clone. And that's why it's kind of nostalgic for me, because it started me really collecting clone armies and stuff. And the second figure in the set is the Green Clone Sergeant, who is exclusive to the set, and I believe he is still exclusive to the set. I don't think he's come in anything since. But he has that like silver visor printing with the green that goes all around. These are olive green. He's got olive green arms and olive green printing. The 4 green dots that signify that he's a sergeant. He has the... Oh, I have a wrong head on this guy because I swapped his head out, but he also has Angry Clone. You don't see any of this. Let me swap this out for you. There you go. He's got Angry Clone. The reason that this head was in there was because I'm using the Angry Clone head on a clone pilot, and I must have swapped out the wrong clone for that one. I took the wrong clone. Oh well, that was kind of a funny blooper. So he has the regular old Angry Clone head under there as well. And he's got the same back printing as the other clone. No leg printing, but again, this was the only set that this guy came in. And that's it. The set only had 2 minifigures, so not a great army builder of a battle pack. So that's going to just about do it for the in-depth look. Let's go back to the other angle, and I'll finish out the video. Alright guys, that was the in-depth look at the Clones vs. Droidekas battle pack. As far as getting the set nowadays is concerned, it is a little bit difficult. According to brickset.com, it goes for used for about 14 bucks, but I'm guessing that that's incomplete. And then new, it'll go for a minimum of 27. However, if you just want the figures, those are actually even harder to come by. The regular Phase 1 clone without the leg printing, because obviously there was a new one in the battle pack a couple years ago, goes for between like $10 and $20 just regularly on Bricklink. And the green Sergeant will go for anywhere between like $5 and $10, so it's a little bit cheaper to get the green Sergeant. It wasn't a bad battle pack overall, however, you had to get a lot of them in order for it to be really worth your army building and from a collector's standpoint, I suppose. So that's going to just about do it for this throwback review, guys. Leave this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below. What other throwback reviews do you want me to do? Leave all your suggestions in the comments below. And be sure to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks, guys, for watching. This has been Brian from Watermelon Studios. Peace out, guys.